G'day guys, MFWest here, and today we finally have a Mythic Nzoth review or kill. On my Carapace kill, I wasn't able to actually record it way back, I think months ago when we killed it. Since then, the guild that I initially started Nzoth on disbanded, and I had to find a new guild. And with this new guild, this new 2-day guild, we've killed it, which is awesome. So I'm basically going to give you guys a full commentary and just analysis of what I've learned from pulling this boss. I have over, like, I'm not joking, I'd say over 250 wipes on this boss. A lot of wipes on it. So I'm just gonna give you guys my tips and tricks so that when you start progging, or if you've already killed it and you just want to improve on your damage, you can do so. So I ended up getting, I ended up doing 96k DPS, getting an 85 percentile, I think, for the kill, which is like top 30 on Unholy DKs in the world, which is not too crazy, but it was okay. I made a few mistakes, but I will highlight those and explain them to you as well. I actually did get the sword as well, so I have that 485 two-hander sword. So without further ado, let's get straight into the talents and Azerite essences, everything for going into Mythic Nzoth. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so Mastery is not really that bad of a thing on Nzoth. There's a lot of things such as the Spike Tentacles and just Psychophages, I want to say they're called Psychophages, that just need to be passively killed as well. Mastery is by all means not really a bad thing. The talent setup that I run for this is Clawing Shadows, Ebon Fever, Asphyxiate, Soul Reaper, Wraithwalk, Epidemic, Unholy Frenzy. Now, where it can vary is on the last row. So a lot of people can take Army of the Damned. Now, I personally, because I'm in the first Psychus, I don't like to have Army of the Damned, but basically, if you take it, you're going to get an army on your first Psychus, okay? And then you're going to get it up when you're doing free damage on the boss later on, and then by the time the secret phase is done, it will be back up again for the final phase when Lust is going to be used. And to be honest, Army doesn't really benefit from Lust that much because the boss just dies as Lust comes up. So yeah, it's not really that valuable, but it's okay. But I definitely want to try an attempt with Army of the Damned. Frenzy is really good priority damage, which can be very useful in the fight as well. But yeah, on this kill, I'm using Unholy Frenzy. The next thing that you can swap up is Spell Eater. Now, a few DKs like it, by all means. The thing is, though, to avoid getting the Anguish debuff, which is a massive, massive damage debuff in Phase 2, that does a lot of damage and requires raid cooldowns to heal, DKs can immune it, and we can immune it without Spell Eater. Our base AMS is strong enough to immune Anguish from going off. You'll see, and I'll explain everything how it happens in the video, but some people just like having a really fat AMS, and I just think Wraithwalk's too valuable to get away from people, to get to your partner in Paranoia, to get to the other side of the room, to drop your Anguish when you need to. It's just so valuable being a wheelchair spec. Otherwise, everything else is fine. Clawing Shadows is very valuable because of how much mastery we actually run. I think basically they say you have to. I would sim it if I were you, but above 45% mastery, Clawing Shadows becomes viable. Okay, now let's have a look at the gear that I used for this boss. I did not. Okay, I've already sold the weapon that I had previously, but I had a 475 weapon instead of this one. Otherwise, I'll show you my gear first of all. So 2 haste trinkets, basically a large amount of mastery. Now, we did kill it the day after the corruption vendor went live, so I was using. Let me show you my corruptions. I was using 3 Expedient 3s, 1 Twilight Dev rank 2, and 1 Hone Mind. Now, there's so many different combinations um, of corruption on this boss. I don't think Twilight Dev is very valuable because the main important damage that you need to do, that the whole raid needs to do, is damage on Nzoth. That's the most important thing, and Twilight Dev is literally just there to cleave and kill tentacles. It's not that important for boss damage, unless you're a tank. You're much better off only running a small Twilight Dev and then a full Expedient and Hone Mind, because Hone Mind's very valuable. The amount of mastery on this fight is there's no downside to having it. Um, and then I'm running I basically have the Biz Azerite Abyssal Malevolence, Gladiator Shoulder Pads, and the Gladiator chest piece as well. So that is pretty much my entire gear set, guys, for this kill, and I'm pretty much going to go straight into the commentary now. Let's go. Actually did forget essences. So, for this boss, you want Major Vision of Perfection. Magus is just doing so much damage now, guys, and with Expedient, it is just so strong. The Magus are casting at ridiculous speeds, and they're most likely going to be near your top damage for the actual kill. No joke. For miners, I was taking Purification Protocol, but now the fact that we can just keep buffing our haste up, Essence of the Focusing Iris is what I use for the kill, along with Breath of the Dying for killing those targets on low HP, and then of course Memory of Lucid Dreams for the rune regen. Alright, let's get into the video. Alright, I'm going to stop, pause, and just explain everything as it happens. This video will probably take about 14 minutes to do the full commentary, but you will know everything from a Death Knight perspective on how to do this boss. Okay, first up, I like to only dedicate Dark Transformation and Unholy Frenzy on these first set of tentacles. Again, every raid group will be different. We had 4 Fire Mages, so shit died so quickly, man. It's ridiculous. So I used Dark Transformation and Holy Frenzy here. Literally just focus down the Bash Tentacle. You can honestly focus on the Corruptor, but by the time we kill the Basher, everything's just dead. That's just how 4 Fire Mages works. As you can see, they're all on 200 KDPS, and so are the 2 Destro Locks. So there's not much we can do here. Now for Paranoia, spread out. Remember, you don't have to actually freak out and run to your partner straight away. Let people move around you. If you're in trouble, guys, you can AMS. Every time you're not connected with your partner, you're going to take major damage. I'm talking 20% of your HP ticks. AMS will actually absorb at least 2 of those, if not 1, and it can save your life. But again, you want to be careful about how you use your AMS, and I'll explain why. But you can use it on Paranoia if you can't get to your partner, or you see your partner is extremely far away. That's really important. Alright, so now, second tentacle spawns are going to go here. We don't do any damage in this phase, guys. It's literally all the mages, and there's no reason for you to as well. When the tentacles spawn, I like to make sure I dot up all the spike tentacles that I can. I Apocalypse here, and if you use Apocalypse here and you're in Psychus 1, it will be up for when you need it on Psychus. Don't worry, all the timings are perfect. So I focus down this Corruptor Tentacle. You guys will probably have a kick rotation on there as well. Now I'm going to move towards the spawn for the Psychus 1. We have our tank give us a brief 3-second cooldown, and then we go in. Sanity is full. This is all good. Alright, so Psychus 1. I'm going to explain to you basically my how I do Psychus 1. So on the first exposed synapse, I like to Dark Transformation D&D down on top of it. Make sure you move out of these purple swirls. They will do massive damage and drain your sanity. I like to one of the main things I should have pointed out, guys. I PvP a lot, so I like microing my pet. It's a funny thing. You can do this if you want to. It will probably lead to hundreds of DPS different than what if you weren't actually doing it. I'll show you. You're gonna laugh. So you go up in the air. While you're in the air, you can't press any abilities, but you can control your pet. You can send your pet to attack the synapse while you're in the air. As you can see, look. There goes Jimmy, and he's running at the synapse, and he's already going to be there by the time that I start doing DPS. So I'm going to save the pet kick for the next one, you'll see. So Dark Transformation here, so the most amount of uptime I can get on my pet on that tentacle, and then going to pet kick to the next synapse, so he immediately transfers his damage to the synapse. Alright, from here on in, we need to go to this synapse now. Be careful as well. Always try and face your character towards the psychophages so your Twilight Death can just run through them. Alright, on this one here, no damage. So you want to save your Unholy Frenzy and Apocalypse down here. You don't touch them. You can't Frenzy on the first synapse and have it ready for Psychus. Unfortunately, it's down for another 15 seconds when you reach Psychus. And that's just how unfortunate it is. You want to save everything you have for Psychus. Dark Transformation, D&D, and just pressing Skirt Strike on the synapses should be enough, especially if you have Fire Mages and DHs down as well. Okay, so now this is the second last synapse. This is the last one. Now, I like to Soul Reaper here at a high HP. And if I have runes, I like to arm me when this synapse is already 75%, because your army is up for quite a long time, and you might not get the full duration of army on the Psychus. So now I'm just smacking Psychus. Make sure your army is attacking Psychus as well. You don't want your Psychus to be hitting your army to be hitting a freaking Psychophage. Now, when these orange swirls spawn, I like to, just in case, Death Advance, and AMS to make sure that I do believe if one swirl hits you and you have AMS up, you do not get disorientated. So basically, if you get hit by a swirl, you become disorientated for about 3 seconds, and it's big sanity drain as well. I do think the sanity still drains. I'm not sure if someone can confirm that, but you definitely don't get disorientated. So I saved Death's Advance and AMS for this exact moment, okay? So there's no way I can get hit. And because you have Clawing Shadows, you can always hit like the Psychus on the run. It's amazing. So I'm going to top the damage here in the Psychus phase along with the Fire Mages. On legit, every pool's different. Mages sometimes do 200k, 220k, sometimes I do. It's all different. So this is the most valuable uptime you have on the boss. You want to just pummel damage into Nzoth and try and get him down to around 86%. That's the sweet spot there that you'd love to get him to. I'm pretty sure Method and whatnot are getting him down to like 75% with their damage. So yeah. Let's see what we get him down to before he phases. 86 points. Okay, we actually push him down to 85%. That's the corruption vendor coming in. And now we're on to these tentacles here. All right, I just like to focus these as well. Now, in a moment's time, Paranoia will be up. I like the Dark Transformation, D&D, these two here. And now get ready for Paranoia, spread out, and move to your partner. So I have a warrior on me. He will always leap to me. That's the good thing about the warriors in this group. They always use their leap for the Paranoia, which is awesome. And while they're leaping, they're actually immune to clipping other people with their Paranoia stacks. I think that's really awesome. Same thing for Disc Priest's life group as well. So yeah, pretty cool there. Alright, so next 10 tentacles, I'm going to Unholy Frenzy and Apocalypse on this one, on this set here, and that's pretty much going to get a full duration of Apocalypse, so it's very useful to have that here. D&D down on the tentacle as well, face my body towards the tentacle. As you can see there, my dev will hit both targets now, which is awesome. So make sure you're always facing the correct way when you have Twilight Dev as one of your corruptions. Boom, it's already down, and we're going to kill this last spike tentacle. Now, one more set of tentacles here, so two more sets. On this one, you shouldn't be using AMS here. I'll give you guys an idea of when to use AMS and when it will be up for Anguish. Okay, so no cooldowns for this besides Dark Transformation. This is where mages combust and literally one-shot this basher. So the mage's combustion is up from Psychus, and that's the one they use it on. It died in like 5 seconds. It's absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so now we have to kill these, I want to say spores, but they're not, I forget, sorry, neurons. Okay, so I have a set neuron that I have to kill. Little tip here, guys. If you think you're not going to actually kill the neuron before the paranoia goes out, big tip, you can actually asphyxiate. This is why I run asphyxiate. You can asphyxiate the neuron and it doesn't pulse that purple shit around it, okay? What I mean by that is, so look, I know I'm not really going to kill it. I don't have stun, unfortunately, but I do damage it, but you can actually stun it. Now, what I mean by this purple shit is this over here, for example. It spawns a circle depending on how much health it has left. So if it's low HP, it will spawn a very small circle. You have to literally run over it to take damage and lose sanity. But yeah, if you stun it, it doesn't actually spawn a circle at all. That's why some hunters trap, some warlocks banish as well. So here, paranoia, we're going to stack in on the sign on the neuron, make sure that we've got no neurons behind us. We slow chains of ice these psychophages so no one gets hit. Shaman will cap totem them so that no one gets hit by devour thoughts. And now we Wraith Walk over to the next, actually just advance here, save Wraith Walk, over to the last set of tentacles. Now, a lot of psychophages will be spawning here. Now, this is where also, back here guys, one of the raid leaders calls for cooldowns. This is where you can AMS. You can AMS here and have it up for the first Anguish, okay? It's perfectly fine. It helps your healers. And remember, you don't have to always pop a defensive on those massive waves of damage. You can simply press Death Strike after 2 waves. So a lot of psychophages coming in here. D&D's down. Twilight Dev goes out, and I'm just spamming Epidemic and just killing these stupid psychophages. Remember, when you kill a psychophage, it drops a purple swirl, which will drain your sanity by 20, I believe. So do not be anywhere near it. Now, boss is up. Really important that you're hitting the boss here. Apocalypse, Unholy Frenzy, I just smack the shit out of the boss as long as I can. And now I'll explain how to use cooldowns here. So now we're coming up to phase 2 here, which is where a lot of groups, guilds are actually progressing, and this will pretty much dictate whether you kill the boss or not, how cleanly you do this phase. Okay, so get the boss down as low as we can. 2 ads are going to spawn eventually. My sanity is already 100. Good job. Two ads will spawn. Again, ignore the ads. We have 4 fire mages who will kill them with ignite and 2 destro locks. No reason for us to really hit these harvesters at the moment. These two are they're not really important. Focus your damage on Nzoth. You can put D&D down if you want a Scourge Strike to actually add additional damage. So, this is why I think Deathknight is really strong on this fight. Okay, so they're doing a cast called Evoke Anguish. This will put a debuff on everyone that needs to like drop their debuffs in a certain position in the room. You probably understand what I mean if you're progging this boss fight. Death Knights can press AMS around 2 to 3 seconds before the cast goes off and not receive an Anguish debuff. Alright, so let's see. 4, 3, AMS, and there it goes. Now, everyone in the raid group will actually, we have to link here to pop major defensive cooldowns, like raid cooldowns. Everyone will run their little purple swirl into a special formation so that we can use the most of the room as possible. Now, you can ignore that as a death knight. You can just press AMS on every second one and literally be fine. So, now, you can have an add-on that shows you which way the beams are going. So you want to make sure you stand in link. Now my set position for this next Anguish drop is over here in these little 2 spikes. Very easy for me, and I can hit the boss. Really awesome. Death Strike while Anguish is ticking to help your healers. Do not die to Anguish and make sure you move out of it. Paranoia goes off. It's on one of the shamans. I move out of everyone's way to go around the outside so I don't drain anyone's sanity here. Not much damage going off in Paranoia. You want to save RBF. You want to save Healthstone for this next Anguish drop. You do not have AMS for this Anguish. It's physically impossible for you to have it, okay? So you're going to IBF and Healthstone here if you want. You can use both. I actually managed to hold both because of just the massive healing that's going out here. Drop Anguish, boom. Second set of ads spawn. Now these ads are very important and they need to die. I like to Unholy Frenzy here and just pump boss. This is the 3rd Anguish that is dropping right now. I'm going to AMS this Anguish. It's back up. So I AMS it. I'm immune. I can smack boss for legit another 10 seconds for free. Taking advantage of all the damage that you can put on the boss. I'm going to Apocalypse as soon as it comes off cooldown, guys, because it will still be up for the secret phase. Boom. And I'm going to use my Wraithwalk to go back to the group as soon as I dodge these beams. Now, here is where we use next and stack on top of it of the Harvest Thoughts. And we have to focus these ads down now. But feel free to actually focus damage on these Thought Harvesters because they need to die before the next cast goes off. Beams go off, we move together as a group to the back left, and we're just going to make sure that everyone is stacked on top of each other and we're not draining each other's sanity. Kill these 2 stupid ads, stand in your neck, and just pummel boss. So this is, again, free damage. The boss is at 41% HP. We're doing quite well on boss damage for time. And yeah, we just stand free. It's just free damage for like another 10 seconds pretty much. Okay, Locks put down the gates to the secret phase, and you want to save, you can Dark Transformation here, you want to save everything else for the secret phase, so that we get the boss down to about 31%, I want to say, 32%, and we're going to leave to the secret phase. Boom, there we go. Alright, secret phase, guys, is really, really straightforward. The raid leader will have assigned you as Death Knight a bomb to unlock. Make sure you know which bomb it is. Mine's the second set of bombs, the bomb on the left. Okay, so Annihilator here. Do not pop Unholy Frenzy and Apocalypse yet. Wait for the swirlies on the ground to come out before you do it. You will lose 3 seconds of your Unholy Frenzy. It's not really worth. Second set of bombs drop off here, and I'm going to pop it. If you use your Unholy Frenzy and Apocalypse after the swirls, you will still have it up for Nzoth. Don't worry. So here, boom, we're going to go everything's up now. We're going to Apocalypse, Unholy Frenzy, and pump him, okay? Really big damage. Make sure you do not stand in these massive blue swirls. When they actually finish and explode, you will die. And do not be anywhere near any of the bombs on the outer edge. Don't be anywhere near like yellow circles in general. We stop damage here now. The raid leader calls to stop damage. And we just stop damage. Just don't hit him at all. I pretty much turn away basically and just AFK. Now we are still going to get one more set of swirls because it's just the timing of it. And after that set of swirls, we're going back up and it's burn time on Nzoth. The most important part of the fight, arguably. Alright, so the raid leader calls to kill the Annihilator, and now the second set of swirls are coming out. Death's Advance, like make sure you do not get hit by a single one of these swirls. The bomb goes off and just live. This is just dodging, happy feet. Now, this is a really important thing that I like to point out. Before you click on this gate, press numlock so you're auto running. When you're auto running, your body, when you actually land up at the top, will actually continue running to the boss. And when the stupid cutscene will finish, you will be on Nzoth hitting him. So let me show you. I'm auto running, I click, and we go straight up to back to Nzoth. And this is it, right? This is the burn. This is the burn and dropping anguishes. So look, I'm already on the boss. Perfect. All right, so focus Nzoth here. Use Apocalypse and Unholy Frenzy. It will be up again for Lust. You have time, okay? I'm going to AMS this Anguish, okay? So I can just sit here with my Unholy Frenzy and pump boss. Maximum CD usage. I do not have Anguish. I'm just pumping the shit out of this boss. He only has 25% HP, and we have Bloodlust heroism in literally 2 minutes. Dodge the beams, do not get hit by them. Now, moving to the right here is perfect because this is where we're going to actually drop the next set of anguishes here. So I might, let me see if I use a defensive cooldown on this set of anguishes. Let's see if I hold. Okay, I actually hold. So ballsy move, dodge out of it straight away, move, and then this is the shit thing about melee here, guys. So after basically this first anguish where you're just immune to all this anguish damage and going over here and dropping it, you're doing free damage on the boss. After this, you're not going to touch the boss until your next AMS. That's just how shit this phase is. It's very shit phase for melee. Alright, so after dropping off this anguish, Paranoia is almost immediately afterwards. We could have done a better job of spreading here before Paranoia went out, because look what happens here. Watch my sanity. I'm stacked. I see my target, and we're actually there. So I lose 10 sanity there because of that. Actually more, 20 sanity there. So we have to move to boss. We find a little spot here on the side to sit. I'm gonna death strike my health back up, and I'm on 40 sanity. So I lost so much sanity from that paranoia, which is actually really important because that's less uptime at the very end before you go insane. Alright, with bosses at 14%, we have less than 20 seconds. This is the last anguish. I did not have AMS available. Because you only can do every like third one. I have AMS for the next anguish in 8 seconds though, which is huge. I army before, this is the big thing, guys. So I'm going to have, the reason why I like saving AMS for this last anguish, I will have full uptime with army, unholy frenzy, second pot, apocalypse on the boss for free, okay? It's huge. Your raid's dying, you want to be the only one on the boss doing as much damage as you can, okay? So, I'm going to army, and the most important thing as well, guys, Lust hasn't actually popped here, but you want to army before Lust is available because the boss dies literally, he's 11%. You're not going to get a full army off if you wait for Lust. I just feel like I would like to army of the dead just like 5 seconds, 6 seconds before like Lust is available, because all the mages are going to combust. This boss is going to die so fast. So here we go. Anguish in 3 seconds. I'm going to AMS it. There, boom. AMS the Anguish. I don't have to leave the boss. I can sit here and pummel his freaking head in, which is amazing. Like it's helping out your raid so much. Beams go off. You want to make sure that you try and go as far left as possible. Puddles are going to be going off. Thought harvesters you ignore. You just pummel Nzoth here, and this will be the kill. We almost wipe here. I don't know if I didn't get my AMS off, and if we still would have killed it, but fuck me, I think we got a lot of damage off that AMS as well at the end. And honestly, immuning anguish is so important, guys. It is amazing. So down goes the boss, and I'm going to loot the two-hander as well. And there you have it. If you have any questions, guys, please ask below in the comments about Nzoth Mythic, Unholy related questions, anything. There's the weapon. Booyah. Follow me on social media at MFWest WoW on Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you guys later. Peace.